What's going on, Workforce? Brian and Chris here, and today we're reliving Media Tour. If you guys haven't seen our announcement, Chris and I are going to be attending the Endwalker Media Tour and bringing you guys that coverage. Now, this video, we can't share certain things with you guys, and when we can, we will. That's going to be the plan. But we wanted to sit down and at the moment we can, it's going to happen. So just be ready. Be sure to follow Gaming Kinda, Work the Game, Ginger Prime, and so much more. Like we've been building for this moment for a couple of years now, and that's going to be what something hopefully you guys enjoy. But the real thing is, like, we want to kind of relive the past media tour that we were on and say, like, what would we have done different? What did we want to do? And then also be look forward to some future coverage. So question you,
that
Chris,
we can talk about.
Yes, we can talk about what happened last time. So assuming all things are going to be the same, which they are not, but we want to kind of talk that through. So Chris, obviously last media tour was a thrilling experience, but I think we came away with a lot of education of what, we did right and what we did not do right. And we didn't know what we were doing. Like, it was like, we were just happy to be at the table. It was kind of like, you're just sitting in there and there's like all these massive people around you. You're like, all right, just be cool, man. Don't be that guy, And so we came out of it. We were like, oh, we were really happy with the content we made. And then it's like,
keep your hands extended so they're not sweaty.
Yeah.
Does this look weird?
And then we were like, everybody's like releasing 40 and 60 different videos and so much detail. And I'm like, oh. So walk me through, Chris. What would you have done differently at the media tour? And that's obviously going to somewhat translate to what our plan is with this media tour.
So it's always really easy to spend past use money and time, A, with hindsight, and B, without context. Like, you could just be like, why didn't I just make more effort? And you don't remember like how tired you were or any of that. But it was physically held in a physical place. And so all the creators were staying kind of near each other. Mm-hmm. And we, to save money, flew out there on our own dime and stayed with a friend. And it was really nice to see him. But what the biggest value that I got out of the media tour, obviously this is one of the differences with last time, is that it was physically in person. Mm-hmm. The advantage of digital ones is that it allows them to invite what seems like a lot more people. Mm-hmm. Not everybody, but more. It is larger by far. Yes. But being physically, I wish that we had been able to be there, like to stay. We had to come in on like a train and stuff that morning and travel from the nearest person that we knew, which was really nice. It was good to see him, but I wish we'd been able to be closer, because the one thing that I would say is I wish that I had been able to set aside more time. Yeah. Be at the event earlier, stay later, and then when we left, spend every waking minute, let's assume past me never got tired and all of that, every waking minute, pouring over the information and making more videos, because I think of Work to Game, if nothing else, we are prolific. Like, between our 4 primary channels, the Twitch exports channel, our main channel, your personal channel, and my personal channel, we have over 3,500 YouTube videos uploaded. That number is not at all associated with quality. That is just a raw number. And so our one strength has been that because there's 2 of us, without having to pay for like an editor or any of these things that you see like bigger productions like, Bellular or something come out with, we've been able to put out a lot for the fact that we were both full-time employed kind of hobbyists. We've been able to put out, at one point we were doing like 5 and 7 videos a day. Mm-hmm. And so what I wish I had done differently is I had spent more time on it. Yeah. So that's just more. Right. That I think starts though from a mindset of what you're going to want to create, based off the information, right? Because like spending more time, I wish I could spend more time playing the game or editing videos, but it's like, what am I specifically going to do? And what the thing I took away, so essentially like the more time aspect is yes. In fact, I think I messaged you a couple of days before the last embargo dropped, and I go, hey Chris, like, I was talking with Larry, and like, he's just working on these videos nonstop, and he's got 30 or 40. And I'm like, we're at 17. It's like, all right. And Larry's like, I only have 34 of them done. Yeah. And I was like, what? Like, what are we talking about here? And so it was just really interesting. So I think essentially what I was really kind of like just looking at is that first and foremost is to break down and detail out the information. Now, there are 2 of us, which is our unique advantage. We've talked about that
numerous times here on the channel. And being that there's two of us, we can have that shared perspective. We can also kind of coordinate what we're going to be working on. And so I think I wish I was more focusing in on both kind of the new jobs, but also what is changing from the jobs that I love. And from a time perspective, kind of you think of it as a waterfall perspective, like it would have been that. And then as I got into and finish, right, because like I think there's going to be enough coverage that if I have time, I'm going to spend it with all the jobs. Like that is a goal. But
Sure.
if it comes down to it and it's like, man, like, so, you know, like in this case, Summoner's so much to unpack. Like it's so like wildly different. And I would rather begin that I have a passion for Summoner and a passion for healers. Like I would literally just waterfall it until I felt comfortable with that. So I could speak for myself that, yeah, I don't know this time around, or even like last time, rather than try to be a jack of all trades, I'm just going to focus in on that. And then once I had that comfort level with essentially the tanks, the healers, and the casters, then you could see me shift into like the other roles. But I don't want to sit here and like overcommit or overpromise. Like, you know, you'll probably see something on it, but that's just where I think I want to make sure I have the base understanding of here's what's actually changing with the Black Mage. Like, okay, this skill is no longer there. This is what the tooltips detail, and then just try to give that raw information. And so that actually completely changes my attack perspective. While I do plan on running the content, I think it's like to touch the content, and then it's literally saying, all right, if I was just going to be a Black Mage for the day, live on Black Mage, make sure it works on controller, get it kind of fitting well. The nice thing is, I assume, is being that we're remote, I can actually pull up my old, you know, my current client and be like, what does my skills look like? You know, because one of the things that you run into hands down is that when you go to a FanFest Media Tour, it's not like they have your settings, right? They don't have my hotbars. So it was always like, wait, where was that? So if we cannot, for some reason,
and I also aren't particularly good with names.
Yeah.
So like I was in E12S last night and Todd was like, pop raw intuition. I know what abilities do and where they're on my bind. And if you go back and watch the footage, I was mousing over which one I thought raw intuition was to verify which keybind that was. Like, I know that you're meaning that to be helpful. Which one's raw intuition?
Yeah.
because I just don't, the names they all sound good.
Yeah.
You know, and something like Nation Flash is fairly unique, but like Thrill of Battle and Vengeance and Raw Intuition all sound, I mean, they're all mitigation spells and I don't immediately remember. So being able to have a client in front of you is something that we did not have last time, that I wish I had flashcards or note cards or something. Yeah. This time, obviously that's taken care of because the whole thing's digital, but last time, yeah, I think I wish I'd had reference material.
Right, because that's one of the things that I've done when I've gone to FanFest. So I felt like I was way more prepared for FanFest going multiple times. And then the last time I went to Media Tour, because I was like, I don't know what I'm walking into. I'm just trying not to be the guy who walks in, falls on his face, and that becomes like, you know, the memory. Like, hey guys, we finally met Brian from Work to Game, and
who's Brian? Oh, the fall guy.
The fall guy.
That was so
funny. Fall Brian.
So funny.
Fall Brian. That was hilarious. You know, shame what happened to him after that, but you know, it's so the idea is that, yeah, like kind of have that flashcard, that setup, so I can maximize the amount of time that we've got with the game. The beauty of it here is I got this nice little stand sit desk. One of the biggest weaknesses last time was I didn't have my controller. I mean, they had controllers there, but they weren't really high quality controllers. And so it was a little bit, you know, like, oh, I really don't like the feel of this one. And I had to take standing breaks. Like you're playing and playing and playing. And then I got to step away from the computer. I got to just walk. I got to stand up. And it's like, here, at least I can stand up. I can continue to dive in and play. So that's one of the things that I'm planning on kind of focusing in on. But the other side of it, to answer that, like the additional thought is that I really enjoy the controller play. And I think that's something that I can represent really well. So again, because it's not like I get, 600 hours with it, I've got, a set amount of time. I'm going to kind of attack it from a controller mindset.
You're the controller guy. Just like I am 25% of the global population of Mac players.
Yeah.
It's important that you represent what you represent.
Yeah, that's that was the joke with the pre-show. It's like, how did Work the Game get invited back to this? And it's like, well, we do
Controllers
represent
and Mac.
controllers and Macintosh, baby. Niche, get the niche on.
They're not even good at the game. We know that.
Yes.
I do wish that. So I think reference material is a fair point. I do wish that I had been able to better hone in on what's different. I don't need to communicate this because I think the media tour in general is not an onboard for new players because the information is subject to change. You don't have the entire picture. We didn't get to see all the content. We got to see the level 71 dungeon, I think.
The 73 was
73 and two zones and some fates, and that's it. And so like we were so limited in what we had access to, and like you don't know that till you get there. So you just gotta be thinking on your feet. But you know, in hindsight, knowing now, had they given a list of here's what you'll have access to, having a better comparison for what was it like to, you know, play those jobs previously. What are the abilities? What are the changes? And just focus on those. Because I think that's who this is for. This is for the current base. And it's hype. Like this event is also hype, but the hype is how excited are you?
The hype is going to be brought by Asmund and Rich, and the hype is going to be brought by a lot of the people that I feel are much bigger and probably better than that. And so the way I look at it is
a Bry ambulance meme going around the internet right now.
Not yet. Wait till I fall on my face. And then we go from there. The idea though also is that from just a presentation perspective is that, you know, like we just kind of like we had just worked a game last time. Ginger Prime wasn't a thing. Gaming Kinda wasn't a thing. That's kind of before we made our big content, you know, like decision when we were like, what is this channel? What do we want to make? And so I think that what that gives us the ability is that we can explore a lot of different stuff our own way on our personal channels, and then also still bring you guys here like the be all end all version of that. Like, okay, guys, you want that 2 hour long video going through everything? Boom. Also, we've got the ability to kind of have more of our discussions about and our collabs about it brought to you guys here on Work to Game versus like, you know, because there's just going to be, you know, when that embargo lifts, it's like, hopefully you got lots of like free time, not just from us, but we're talking about there's a lot of creators going. It's going to be
I'm going to watch on stream.
Right.
So I'm going to be watching other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking forward to it. Because I mean, you could literally put two people down in front of the same material and they have a different experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing what other people take away.
Yeah.
I think knowing more what was different and knowing that I needed to put out way more content, not like, oh, I didn't get to 2 videos that I'd aimed to.
No,
you didn't get to 3 times the videos. Do more.
Right.
Do more.
With all the different jobs, I think that's going to be a real key aspect to try to get to those. With all the different, you know, with the dungeons and whatever other, like, I still feel like there's probably more information for us because in the live letter, he kept referring to information that it's like, oh yeah, we'll let the media tour kind of
they were different order last time.
Yeah, that's true.
The media tour came first, and then we had all these questions, and then they had a presentation to answer a bunch of those questions. And now the media tour is first, and then we have all the questions going into. So like, I know last time there was this feeling of like, I wish I could go back. Like, okay, that was really interesting. Can I log back in? Because like I have new questions based on kind of everything that came out as time went on. So it does feel like we have a lot better picture of the battle system now than we did as we got on a plane last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But regardless, I'm very humbled and just thrilled that we get to take part in this event, and we cannot wait to share more of the content with you guys. And so there's also, like we're going to talk about in our next video, kind of questions that if we get the opportunity to ask that we're kind of thinking. And I think as we consider ourselves in a way community representatives. So if you guys, there's things that you want to know, like we read the comments, we try to respond to as many comments as possible. Let's sound off, in the comments below what you guys are hoping to see, so that way we can spend our time, make sure that we And then also what Chris and I will do again is we'll coordinate between us, so that way, we can hopefully get as much coverage for you guys as absolutely possible. And it's going to be interesting how that it has an impact on your streaming, because we said this publicly, like when we didn't know if we were going or not. It's like, well, now that we've played Endwalker, but we yet can't talk about Endwalker, you might see Chris playing some New World for a little bit, or playing some other thing for a little bit, and then working on videos while he
Guild Wars, New World. If New World wasn't looking good and Guild Wars wasn't looking good, which they are, I was like, it'd be fun to go play an old Final Fantasy. It'd be fun to play, maybe some Minecraft on stream or something that like I have a lot of experience with, but I don't really share here. Maybe some Dwarf Fortress. I'm sure people are like, what? There's a ton of fun things that I always look forward to playing. I could finish Octopath Traveler. But yeah, I won't talk about Final Fantasy during a window where I know something I might accidentally say.
Yeah.
I believe I can keep my mouth shut, but you know what makes it easier? Just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about it. So they did say that at the live letter, the phrase used was 100 and some dozens. So I don't know what that means. If that's like Brian and I are two people. So if a press outlet, like a magazine or whatever, if they send, if they interact with three people and one of them goes, like, how does that count? And then, because there will be traditional press there based on past media tours. And then Foxconn said that the embargo date would be mid-October as a phrase. I don't know what that means as far as like what his idea of mid-October is. I know what my definition of the middle of the month is, but and obviously you and I know what the date is, but that's his call. And then they said that Yoshi P would look forward to talking with, his phrasing was Western influencers to talk MMO shop. And so as we've seen, as of now, I've seen 33 names confirmed, 33 outlets confirmed.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. So I know Reddit's got a rolling list. You were building your own rolling list. I think you said you had more sources than the Reddit source.
I did.
So it's like that, it's
outpace them.
So Chris is outpacing.
They probably have jobs.
Like you can do that MSQ roulette.
I've been streaming twice a day all week.
Yeah.
I've been doing streams till 2 a.m. a couple nights in a row now.
Oof. You are.
I don't know how Ren and Todd do it as like a constant thing, because they're up in the day raiding with Rich and then they're doing this at night. I'm exhausted. I did 2 days of it and Todd was telling me what to do. We did see the end of phase 12. We did see phase 2 of E12.
Nice. Very nice. Congratulations. I still need to get the Void Gate 2 clear for E10S, and then see if I can move into E11. But I've been having so much fun. Lots of moving parts, lots of things going on. So guys, that's what we wanted to kind of sit down and kind of share the lessons that we've learned from the last media tour, FanFest live letter media tour. Oh, my brain's in shambles today. Let us know what you guys think. We're looking forward to kind of having that conversation with you guys, and we appreciate you. Be sure to check out Discord for more conversation, as well as getting synced up with us for various content. Been having the return of Final Fantasy Friday community game night, and I think this Friday going to be taking some folks through the Binding Coils. I know I see you Snow in chat, so I'm looking forward to kind of helping him get his clear. So we're going to have a good time with that. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up. Chris, why don't you take it up?
We got to sit down and record again, because let's record all the things we would love to know based on the last live letter, all the things we wish we could know, and all the questions and concepts we want to know more about. So let's get going. We will see you in that video. We will share everything we can as soon as humanly possible. 22 minutes or longer, guaranteed. Take care, and we'll see you next time.